Is it just me, or that the character of Comrade Caesar, played by Williams Uchemba, weakened the gravity and tension of the waiter? First off, thank you for the massive love and views on part 1 of my review. I truly appreciate it. In this part 2 review and reimagination of the waiter, I'll break down 3 major scenes that fell flat for me as a scriptwriter and visual storyteller, a few minor ones, the 2 powerful symbolisms I discovered, and one final point that might completely change how you see this movie. And if you haven't watched part 1 yet, be sure to check it out after this. This first scene of Tonye's gas bursting into the invade hall simply didn't work for me. The moment it happened, my question was, where were the security guards? Earlier in the story, we saw the minister arrive in a full convoy, and at least 4 of those cars should have been security vehicles. There is no way a dignitary of her caliber would attend such a public event without proper protection, especially in a country like Nigeria. Even when she got to the venue, we clearly saw security stationed all around. So, how did Tonye, a terrorist, manage to pull off such a grand plan like it was a walk in the park? There was no insider except for that one guy outside, whose role I honestly couldn't understand, since Tonye was already in the room with the minister. No real espionage aside from Uwando's financial involvement with the minister. The execution of this scene felt too easy, a little unrealistic, and it kind of weakened the suspense. Now, imagine this. Tony receives a coded message from one of the minister's direct bodyguards. Moments later, his men storm the hall, shooting down 2 guards beside the minister, while one takes cover, causing instant chaos. Later, it's revealed that these 2 supposed guards were Tonye's spies all along. That twist would not only shock the minister, but also the audience, raising the tension to a whole new level. Another scene that fell flat for me was when Tonye called Akpos to the bathroom and handed him a phone, showing a clip of his mother and sister. Okay, what next? The scene just ended with Akpos dumbfounded and Toye walking away. Instead, Tonye could have left the phone behind before Akpos got there. Akpos discovers it, watches the clip, then rushes out, hoping to catch a glimpse of Tonye to say thank you to him or even confront him. This version would have left the scene more memorable and suspense filled, I guess. The third major issue I had was with the closing scene, when Toyo was surrounded by soldiers and Wando was suddenly arrested. Honestly, this didn't sit well with me. First, the time frame made it almost impossible for Wando to be caught that easily. Second, even if her arrest was part of the script, her character demanded more. Wando had been portrayed as shrewd, ruthless, and we saw this clearly when she killed one of Tony's men to protect their offshore account. Yet here, she gave up without resistance. At the very least, there should have been a chase or struggle to stay consistent with her personality. This weakened what could have been a much stronger climax. Other minor scenes that felt off include the revolution scene. I still don't understand how it tied into the overall narrative, and more importantly, how did the people rushing toward the van know it carried money and gifts? Another scene is where Akpos and Regina behave too casually in a dangerous space. I expected a bit of tension, maybe them glancing over their shoulders or hiding at certain points while negotiating. And then the nurse boy scene, it felt forced. His appearance would have carried more weight if he had been the one in the interview scene instead of Brainjotter. That way, his presence in the movie would have made more sense and not left the audience wondering why he was there in the first place. On the positive side, I did notice 2 strong symbolisms. First, Regina's red gown, a foreshadow of the danger she would later face from which Akpos would save her. Second, the judges behind the cage like barrier, a visual metaphor for how the judiciary is trapped under the influence of power. It was a sharp reminder that without money or status, ordinary citizens have little access to justice. This point was driven home when Toye bribed the judges with 1 million naira each, and they instantly became compliant. Finally, the title itself didn't do justice to the film. The waiter suggested Akpos was the central focus, yet the story kept leaning toward Tonye, the terrorist, and the broader theme of wounded people demanding justice. A stronger title could have been The Wounded, since the revolution was driven by scarred and deprived characters like Tonye, Wando, and others. Another fitting choice might be The Rival, as the plot largely revolved around the clash between Toye and Akpos, or even the revelation, which directly tied to the mission itself. In conclusion, the waiter had strong performances and a timely message, but lapses in execution and missed details reduced its impact. For me, Comrade Caesar's character weakened the seriousness of some scenes, especially when the minister passed out, and this put away from the tension the story was building. What do you think? Did these scenes work for you, or would you have reimagined them differently? And between The Wounded, The Revolution, or The Rival, which title do you feel works best? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And that's it for this review. From your visual storyteller, scriptwriter, and video editor, I remain the creative SGL.